There's no denying the impact these shootings have had on Atlanta's Asian American community. The crime stoking more fears on top of the racism many tell us they've experienced during the pandemic. 11 Alive Chenue is live near the spas in Midtown, sharing their perspectives with us tonight. Chenue.
Yeah, Aisha, right now in Atlanta, it is still a busy scene here where those shootings happened last night all day. Kind of like what Brittany was talking about in Cherokee County. People have been stopping by, leaving flowers, and this memorial over here is starting to grow tonight. Now, since last night, I've been in touch with several Asian American people in Metro Atlanta, from business owners to political leaders to just everyday residents. They tell me these killings are not only terrifying to them, but also angers them.
Why is this happening? Why are we being targeted?
It's a question on the minds of Asian Americans in Atlanta after a gunman killed 8 people Tuesday night at 3 different spas. Law enforcement say 6 of those killed were Asian women. Chenue family's Chinese restaurant has been in Metro Atlanta for 30 years, and as an Asian business owner, she's still processing everything.
I feel angry and also scared at the same time. Myself, and my mom and my sister, we're here, managing the restaurant, and we're Asian minority. It could happen to anyone.
Her anger, her fear is shared with others in the AAPI community around the metro. Just 2 weeks ago, Samtita Saharith found an Asian racial slur spray painted on her car after leaving a movie theater in Gwinnett County. No one's been arrested.
Now I'm like I have to be more cautious now, because this is it's escalating to a bigger problem now. Now it's really happening here.
Community organizers and political leaders hear that fear and worry, and right now are coming together to find the best ways they can support the victims, their families, and those living in fear.
Feels like in all fronts we're afraid. We're afraid for our lives, for our businesses, for our community. And so we were on a community call today and just trying to figure out how can we help the victims.
The Asian Americans Advancing Justice Atlanta organization released a statement condemning the shootings and voicing support for the victims. When our most vulnerable community members are targeted, we all need to band together. Shia says that unity is what's needed right now.
I've been here for more than 30 years. I basically grew up here. This is my home, and this shouldn't happen to anybody.
Now, many different Asian organizations in Metro Atlanta tell me they're organizing and planning, and they'll mobilize in the coming days. Coming up at 6 o'clock here from State Rep Marvin Lim.
Thank you, Chenue. Today, a day of activism and emotion across Atlanta. Thousands of people took to the streets asking to stop Asian hate. Impassioned rallies during the day turned to somber vigils at night. People gathering to remember the 8 people gunned down Tuesday at 3 spas in the metro area. And as 11 Alive's Chenue shows us, bring about change.
These memorials at 2 of the 3 spas in Metro Atlanta where those 8 people were killed continue to grow tonight in Midtown. People gathered for a small vigil to remember all of those victims. On Saturday, more people gathering to remember the 8 shooting victims a man killed Tuesday at 3 spas in Metro Atlanta. Delanya Yan was killed in Cherokee County, and at a vigil there Saturday, her sisters joined others to remember the victims.
We pray every day, we pray all the time, and we hope that we can just stay strong because we have a family to take care of. We have each other to take care of.
6 of the victims were Asian women. The killings sparked fear and anger in the Asian community, but AAPI people came out Saturday organizing a rally with hundreds of people in downtown Atlanta.
It is important for Asian American voices to be heard and for us to be visible to the rest of America, to speak out, to stop the rising violence against Asian Americans.
The conversation is worth protecting people, talking about how do we protect people, how we unite.
They're also calling on state leaders to act and bring change. Representative Marvin Lim is one of those leaders.
Particularly for a community that has for so many years so many people felt underrepresented. I think it's important that we continue to place the voices on other people.
Representative Lim says the goal is to make sure all AAPI communities are protected now and in the future, voicing that to President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris this week.
We're going to push local law enforcement outside of the lawmaking process. We're going to continue to make sure that their voices are heard and translated into the policies that make sure that the victims and those who have felt harmed, that their situations, problems are redressed.
Charles Lee, who was at Saturday's vigil, says he's hopeful change will come, but it takes residents plus lawmakers.
All we need is just a peaceful environment and for us to prosper and to seek our dreams in this country.
Representative Marvin Lim says a key piece to this puzzle is to build a bridge between AAPI communities and the police so Asian Americans aren't afraid to report hate crimes.
The very latest on the Metro Spa shootings tonight, a survivor is questioning why law enforcement detained him for hours when they seem to have a clear idea of the suspected gunman's identity. 8 people were killed last week in the shootings at 3 spas in Cherokee County and Midtown Atlanta. 11 Alive Chenue reports from Cherokee County.
This memorial in Cherokee County continues to grow as people stop by to remember the victims who were killed here last week. One of those victims is Delanya Yon, who was here with her husband last Tuesday. Her husband says deputies showed up minutes after the first round of gunshots, but then he was the one ended up in handcuffs. Family told 11 Alive Mario Gonzalez and his wife Delanya Yon went to Young's Asian Massage last Tuesday for date night. Gonzalez told Mundo Hispanico they were in separate rooms getting massages when the gunfire started just before 5 p.m. Luckily, he wasn't hurt, but he was worried about his wife. He told the outlet that within minutes, deputies arrived and put him in handcuffs for about 4 hours. He questioned why he was kept in a patrol car when law enforcement appeared to know who had done this. Here's what we know. After the shooting at the Cherokee County Spa around 5 p.m., multiple people called 911 just after 6:30 p.m. that night. The sheriff's office released photos of the suspected gunman from outside the business. The sheriff's office says Robert Aaron Long's parents called law enforcement and identified him. Officers tracked Long down in Crisp County and arrested him just before 9 p.m. In questioning his own detainment, Gonzalez said to Mundo Hispanico, "I don't know whether it's because of the law or because I'm Mexican. The simple truth is they treated me badly." After state troopers used a pit maneuver to stop Long in Crisp County, they say he sat motionless in the car for about 30 seconds before following commands to put his hands up. Deputies say once they arrested him, in one pocket they found what appeared to be a loaded magazine for a handgun and in the other, a knife.